I want to welcome our new speaker, Janelle, representative from TransferWise. It is one of the Estonian unicorns, and she will talk us through their journey, experience, how they got successful. So in a moment, Janelle will start sharing.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Janelle, and today I'll be taking you on a bit of a journey with TransferWise. Just to start out, I'll take this chance to introduce our company a little bit. So TransferWise is a global technology company building the best way to move money around the world. Whether you're sending money to another country, spending money abroad, or making and receiving international business payments, TransferWise is on a mission to make your life easier and save you money. For instance, if you're sending money to your friends and family overseas, taking a new job opportunity abroad, or a business dealing with international partners and suppliers, and TransferWise is for you. And we started when our founders, these two good-looking people, realized how much money it cost to transfer money between the UK and Estonia. So Davet, the guy on the right, he was based in London, but he paid in euros. And Christo, the one on the left, worked in London, but paid a mortgage in Estonia in euros. So they each needed what the other had, and they figured out a way to exchange money between themselves using the mid-market rate without any markup rates and fees that were charged by the banks. By doing so, they saved thousands of pounds and realized that there were millions of people across the world who could do the same. So for the past 5 years, I have been working towards this mission as well, which our founders ignited now almost 10 years ago. The mission of money without borders, instant, convenient, transparent, and eventually free. TransferWise is powering money for people and businesses in their increasingly global lives to pay, to get paid, to spend in any currency, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Like our founders realized back in the day, and as many of you probably know as well, sending money abroad is usually a lot more expensive and slower than doing so domestically. And we also know that money is essentially just bits of information sitting somewhere in databases and servers, kind of like emails are. But here's the thing, I can send an email from here to Australia in a few seconds, and it doesn't cost me anything. So if emails are free and move instantly, and that in many cases domestic payments can be instant and free of charge, why can't international payments have the same qualities? At TransferWise, we believe that people want their money to move like an email does, instantly across the globe and almost free of charge. And so far, TransferWise have been able to achieve 30% of instant cross-border payments. And instant meaning the money is delivered within or under 20 seconds. And this is out of 4 billion pounds a month of volume across 54 currencies around the world. And over 8 million customers are sending money abroad with TransferWise. And by doing so, people and businesses save a whopping £1 billion a year compared to using a bank. Using TransferWise, our customers are able to send money abroad. So for example, if I want to send €1,000 to pay for my student loan in the UK, I'll send the euros to TransferWise, who will then complete the GBP side of the transaction and send the equivalent amount in the UK. So essentially, the money never crosses the border. And most importantly, the real mid-market rate is used and the fee charged is told to the customer upfront transparently. Connected to our customers is also a multi-currency account. So customers can hold money with TransferWise and do so in 54 different currencies. And together with this account in 5 different currencies, they can have local banking details in their name with TransferWise. So if an expat, for example, needs to receive salary in the local currency, they can use those local account details. Connected to this multi-currency account, customers can have a debit card. And they can use that card around the world to spend that money they earned. With the variety of products and already a lot of customers using us, here we are on a global scale of international transactions. Out of all the foreign exchange happening in the world, we're down there with the 2 little blue lines, the dark blue and light blue, representing business and personal transactions. And it's a tiny bit of everything. So we know we can do better. But because of 20th century rules, which sought to only allow banks to make payments, in most countries, fintechs have to be customers of banks in order to process payments. In order to directly connect to a payment system, an institution must hold a settlement account in the central bank, and based on those rules or regulations, only banks were allowed to do that. So in this example, the 2 large UK banks, Barclays and NatWest, they hold a settlement account in the Bank of England and are thus able to directly connect to the faster payment scheme, which is a payment scheme in the UK. Since TransferWise is not a bank, we had to be a bit clever about it and become a customer of a bank to provide payment services. So if Anna, an engineer and TransferWise customer, would want to send money to her friend Carl, a chef with a bank account in NatWest, the payment would still have to be processed by Barclays, even though initiated by TransferWise. It's a bit complicated, a bit messy, right? But this does not have to be the case any longer. So let's go back in time a little bit where TransferWise started to offer payments from and to the UK. In order to do so, TransferWise, like in this picture, had to be a customer of a large bank. And for that, we were charged £1.50 per payment. Looking further, we were able to find another banking partner who asked for 75 pence per payment. And the third bank we turned to was able to bring the cost per payment down to 35 pence. However, being a customer of any of these banks didn't allow us to process payments for our customers instantly, even though all those banks do have access to instant rails. And as you may recall, our goal is to move money for our customers as quickly and affordably as sending an email. So looking for a solution in 2015, TransferWise partnered up with a small bank in the UK called Raffles Bank. And they were willing to work with us in a slightly different way. As a bank, as a traditional bank, they were able to directly participate in the faster payment scheme. But what was different from the setup before was that we were able to directly connect our wires to the payment scheme. So Raffles was settling for us as the sponsor bank, but we were processing the payments. Now, the bank did charge for their part in this setup, but we were able to bring the cost per payment down to 20 pence. And we achieved what was lacking before, which was instant payments. At the time, this was the best possible solution. We were finally able to move our customers' money instantly and at a lower price than ever before for our customers. But we were still keen on looking around, and as luck would have it, come 2017, a policy change was introduced in the UK. And this opened up the doors to holding a settlement account in the Bank of England for non-banks. For us, the goal was very clear: connect directly with the faster payment scheme. And we were able to reach that goal in April of 2018. We then held a settlement account with the Bank of England and were processing payments independently without any sponsoring banks for the first time ever. But what did this mean for our customers and us as a company? So together with the infrastructure costs, we were able to bring the price per payment down to 10 pence. This means that we are able to provide more affordable prices to our customers as well. The payments now move instantly and more so than ever before. And as you can see on this lovely graph. And our very vocal customers are happy about that too. In terms of convenience, we were able to assign unique account numbers to our customers. Like I mentioned before, our customers can hold unique account details and an account in their name with TransferWise in 5 different currencies, and the UK being one of them. And being directly connected meant lower risks on the ecosystem, as this minimized dependency on a large bank. So in between 2015 and 2020, the number of directly connected faster payment scheme members exploded. So the interest and need for lower infrastructure and payment costs, as well as the desire to provide the fastest, most convenient payment services to people, was quite evident and still is. So the UK is good there, but what about the rest of the world? In the European Union, direct access is currently not possible due to a similar regulation of only banks being allowed to hold a settlement account in the central bank. However, since there is a clear need for innovation in this market and industry, there are developments which are addressing the concerns of non-banks. Take Bank of Lithuania. One of the speakers today, and well, this is a Lithuanian conference as well. Good job, Lithuania. I wish I could have been there in person. So Bank of Lithuania, they're providing a product for e-money institutions without a branch, giving access to instant and affordable payment processing to non-banks as well. There's talks of some more countries acting on our call to action, so do keep an eye on things. But sadly, in most countries, non-banks are still limited to being customers of large banks in order to provide payment services. But customer needs around the world are the same: to have their money moved quickly, affordably, and conveniently. And although fintechs are addressing these needs already, they are systemically dependent on banks. The UK has solved this problem by allowing non-banks hold a settlement account in the central bank. Everywhere else, it's your turn. And as I mentioned, keep your eyes peeled for new developments in Europe. Thank you for listening, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have.
But with your journey, what would be the thing that you and your team would do differently? What was the key lesson learned that you could share with the participants?
Great question. um, I don't think we would do anything differently in the UK than we did. Um, I think a lot of good things had to happen in the right order for the first non-banks to get direct access. But in our next countries, I think we would expect a few things to be different. One of them being able to set up as much on the cloud as possible. And I hear this from our technical team all the time. Most payment schemes in the world still rely on physical infrastructure, but as everything evolves, I think direct access should as well. And cloud allows for at least the same level of security while being noticeably more efficient and easier to manage. And they're really super important aspects for growing players. And another thing that we would be doing differently, or at least pushing for, would be using more in-house tools. So for every integration, you can find a lot of expensive tools and service providers that will do the job for you. But they're quite expensive, and these days it's much more efficient to build your own payment gateways and back offices rather than buying them from third parties. So for just taking account those two aspects, I think you'd get a lot more of a lean setup, and the end user is the one that eventually benefits from it.
Okay, thank you. I see some questions coming from the participants. Do you partner with other fintech companies for international transfers?
So we partner with some other fintechs, but we also partner with banks. So off the top of my head, the best example I can give is from the UK, as I do work in that market, but with a UK bank called Monzo. Basically, their international transfers are powered by TransferWise. So if a Monzo user, for example, sets up a international transfer, then it's actually processed by TransferWise. But yeah, we do partner up with different players in the industry.
Okay, thank you. Another question, does TransferWise allow transactions from South Africa to the UK?
Ooh, sorry. So yeah, South Africa is actually one of the currencies that we support. South African rand, but I am going to have to specify with someone from the support team whether from South Africa is possible. I definitely know we send to South Africa, but you can find that information right on our webpage, on the main page, if you're interested.
Okay, thank you. Last question from my side, growth, compliance, and technology. Which of these three areas is now your key area of focus at this stage of your maturity of organization?
Mhm. Um, in general, business development at TransferWise is always very tightly bound with our mission, making money moving instant, convenient, transparent, and eventually free. So I would say that our global team works on all of those aspects in parallel. We can't prioritize one above the others as they're all interchangeably important to our customers.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation and for the explanations. I don't see other questions coming on the YouTube channel. Thank you. That was very insightful, and I hope participants really enjoy that. Thank you, Janelle.